Okay, we're ready. Should I whip on that? Okay, come on.
Y'all look great.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here we go.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Q. I'm here with Ralph and Bernadette. You might know them from Good Times as Michael and Thelma Evans. So I got a couple questions for y'all.
Sure.
Okay.
What got y'all into acting?
Well, what got me into acting is that I was a dancer first, and then I started doing interpretive dancing, and eventually I got into the acting world. That's how I did it.
I began in Brooklyn, New York. I was a member of the school glee club and I did plays in school. However, there were two teachers who worked at the school that I went to who recommended to my mother that I go for an audition that they heard about of a play on Broadway called The Me Nobody Knows. I went, got the audition, 8.5 years old, and I spent the entire summer on tour with the production. Fortunately, was able to join the original cast and go to the Broadway the production of a play called The Me Nobody Knows. That's when I first started.
So y'all have theater backgrounds pretty much, both of you.
Yes.
Yes, we're both theater artists.
So how was the experience on Good Times?
Well, for me it was great because I was still a teenager, but an adult teenager, and I played a character that was like 15 or 16, which is fun. Working with professionals, all professionals. As a matter of fact, Ralph Carter was the professional. I was just getting into the business, so watching.
So he was your teacher.
Yeah, watching him was incredible because he was such a gentleman, even at what, I think he was 12? 12? And I mean, he was such a gentleman. I mean, his mother did such a great job with him. And it was just awesome when I saw him and saw how he worked. And of course, you have Esther Roll and John Amos, and Janae, but these three were my teachers.
How about you?
Fortunately, I was able to observe other actors while I was growing up, and in theater, by the time I was on Good Time, I had completed 6 major Broadway productions and had won and had been nominated for all the major theater awards you can get in New York.
Oh, so you was big time.
Yeah.
Oh, he was big time.
Yeah, I was a veteran actor by the time I got there. To the point where the wonderful production I was in just before Good Time was Lorraine Hansberry's adaptation of A Raisin in the Sun, was a Broadway musical called Raisin. For Raisin at that year, I received the Tony Award nomination. I won the Grammy Award that year, the Obie Award nomination, the Theatre World Award nomination.
You had a whole list.
And me at 12, he's like already there.
What happened, the beauty of it was that allowed me to meet with so many dynamic men and women who look like me in African American theater. So when I went to Good Time, I'm one of the few cast members. I knew John Amos from the time I was 10 years old in my second Broadway play. And I had seen Miss Esther Roll, who was the founder of the Negro Ensemble Company. So I would see her before I went on Good Time. So I went from broadcasting, I should say from Broadway to broadcasting within a very smooth move.
And the wonderful part about it that I've heard about is that Norman Lear wanted him so badly for the part that they paid a lot of money to get him out of his contract.
I was bought out of my contract.
Wow. Yeah. All right, do you have a favorite episode?
Well, of course, my favorite episode, I have two. The Wedding, because it was a two-parter.
We love you.
And The African Prince. Yeah, I enjoyed those two.
Definitely me it would be the Black Jesus episode and also the Gang episode.
I was thinking about the gang episode.
It was my coming of age episode. I had the experience of working with the other fine actors who were on the show as well, who performed with us. So the dynamics of working with men in my age group in that particular episode was good.
And another thing I'd like to add is when Janet Jackson joined our cast, it was really Ralph Carter that was with her the most of the time, and he taught her a lot, and he spoke with her a lot, and made it very comfortable for her.
So you was a teacher.
Yeah, but Janet is also...
So you used as a teacher, period, for the whole show.
Yeah.
He's still a teacher. The man is still a teacher.
I'm still a teacher. But Janet was a wonderful woman to work with. As a child actor, she was a brilliant observer. and she took notes and she
Yes,
received
I must say that.
information so beautifully that
So
it made
humble, so sweet.
our symbiosis
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
impenetrable.
Yeah.
I was her bully. I didn't let nobody bother.
Right.
I was Bernadette bully too.
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
way.
he is. He is. He won't let anybody hurt me.
That is a good characteristic. We need more people like you.
Yes.
Anything that you want to say how to get put the industry like y'all?
How to get into the business? Well, what I would say is that you have to be thick-skinned. You cannot be thin-skinned. And when people say no to you, there's another door that can open for you. Don't give up because there's too many variables in the business, to make it feel like it's only you that's not right. Okay? So I would say if you love this business, stick with it. You don't have to compromise yourself because if you have talent, you don't have to do that. You may have to go another route, but you don't have to do that. Know your craft. Study. Don't go in there thinking, okay, well, I'm cute, so I can do it. No, it's not. Oh, I'm handsome. No, it's not gonna work like that. You better know your stuff. Okay.
I would rather
From the
be,
master. What the master has to say.
I would be relevant than to be a relic. And I'm grateful that Good Times has allowed us the opportunity to have this amount of longevity. We've gone through 5 decades. And I know as well as Bernadette does, we are bombarded with positive energy. So we can't help but give that back because that's what we receive. And we are eternally grateful for the people who have watched us through all of these particular decades.
I thank my mom and my aunts and grandma because they put me on to y'all.
Exactly, it's generational. So many people have shared with their children and everything like that. And one thing about Good Times, it has given so much joy to people, And I know that we're blessed by God because He keeps giving us the joy back, And I want to add one more thing. My brother, when Ralph Carter came to Good Times, when they brought him out of his contract, my real brother, Talbot Cottrell, took his place on Broadway.
Yeah. At that time, he was the understudy for me.
He was the understudy.
However, when I transitioned from Broadway to broadcasting, Mr. Talbot Stanislaus, he took the role and
Isn't that
did
something?
quite.
They said no gatekeeping.
No,
No
yeah,
gatekeeping.
he was on no. He was ready to do.
He was ready.
He did his work like I did my work. And I also would challenge young artists, if you're really interested in doing this work, you have to be committed to it. But also know that it's not that deep. There's other things that you can do with your life. So you can have parallel types of journeys that you may want to take, and not just show business. There are other ways to do it. But you also ultimately will have to treat people the way you want to be treated.
And you gotta
that's
read.
the bottom line.
Gotta read.
Reading is fundamental, and we get paid to remember stuff, and that's a great gig.
Yeah.
You have anything I want to promote or say to end this off?
Yes. Right now, I'm in a couple of weeks. My book will be out. It's called Good Times, Ain't We Lucky We Got 'Em. My memoir, my version of what happened in my life on Good Times. Okay, so I share that, and most of my experiences were very, very positive. Okay, and my Instagram is Thelma of Good Times, and I'd like everybody to follow me because I need to get a lot more followers. For my birthday, December 22nd.
Yeah, that'd be right on with it. I've been encouraged as a writer by men such as August Wilson and the poetess of my youth, Miss Sonia Sanchez, to write my autobiography in decade components. I've completed the first 4 decades. Volume 1 is Ralph Carter, the early years. Then the second volume is for the good times and the bad times. The third volume is Africa, My Window to the World. Volume 4 is entitled The Healing Years. So by writing in decade components, I'm able to be grateful for the resources I had at my availability and for all the people who helped me in my life along that journey.
Excellent writer.
And I've been encouraged. I taught early child development for 5 years. And as a consequence of that, I've written over 20 children's books. So when my publishing work does come out, I hope that the people who enjoy buying it, if you like my book, tell 10 people that you know, tell people 10 people that they know, and so on and so on.
I'll make sure I promote your
And-
page
Thank you.
and your book.
And that we are definitely grateful to all the people who took the 22 minutes it takes to watch an episode
And
of
we love
any
our
sitcom
fans.
that
We really
goes.
do.
So we are eternally grateful.
We thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.